Carver, I do want to ask you, you've been watching these Triple-A games for a very long time. Ideally, you would think it's Jonah Bride who gets the call up if Mr. Jake Burger goes on the IL, but who are some other guys that are deserving? I know Tristan Gray can basically play everywhere on the infield. He's definitely a name to keep an eye out there, but who else would you think has a good chance? I mean, now keep in mind, there is an open 40-man spot, so this roster is currently at 39 players. So ideally, putting Tristan Gray on the 40-man and calling him up would be very easy to do.
Yeah, you got it. I think Tristan Gray is the guy that showed well in spring training. He was hitting home runs in spring training. He goes down to Jacksonville and he has 6 already with a 963 OPS. He can play pretty much everywhere, plays third base. He can do the outfield as well if he needs to. He has the positional flex. He can do basically what Vidal Brujan was doing as well. So I think if there's an open possibility, which they haven't, and they have an open 40-man spot, then that's the guy that you would add. I definitely agree with you that Tristan Gray would be the guy that I would go to. Just strike out a bit. That's always kind of been a part of his game. He's already struck out 19 times with only 5 walks. So you can expect some strikeouts from him if he does come up. But, man, that power potential is really good, especially for a team that's kind of struggling for some offense, especially in the deeper parts of the lineup. So I would say Tristan Gray is your guy. If they do want to add somebody and if they do need to add somebody, I think he'd be first guy up.
I just noticed something, and for whatever reason, it took me a couple of looks to actually square it in my head. But Otto López, who they claimed off waivers like a week and a half ago, who's hitting 556 in AAA. He's slugging like 1,000. Again today, he went 2 for 3 with 2 doubles and an RBI. And he left the game in the 6th inning, seemingly for no particular reason that I can think of. He left the game. Their game was starting a little bit after the Marlins were. I think the timing of it coincides more closely with Brujan going out with his injury scare than with Berger, but he did leave. He's on the 40-man roster. I mean, he's been, even if we don't feel like projectability, has the same ceiling as maybe Tristan Gray would if Gray puts it all together. I think I can connect the dots right there. That seems, just based on the timing of it, that seems more like a Brujan replacement than a Berger replacement. But the fact that they actually took him out of that AAA game, which was still kind of a competitive game, when they took him out, that smells really fishy to me.
It would kind of go along with what they've done. Like, what they did with Bert Smith. They brought him in on a moment's notice, and then all of a sudden he's on the roster. So this guy, at least he did a bit in AAA. So he's earned it as well, and he plays a lot of positions. So that's another possibility. I would like to see them reward Gray just because Gray also had a great spring. This guy's kind of coming out on a moment's notice. He's gotten 30 at bats, and it's been good, but I don't know. Mixed feelings. I wish it would go to Gray, but if they go to Lopez, then that's another possibility. Especially, like, I didn't even see the box score yet today for Jacksonville, so if they did pull him, and he's not injured, then that would make sense. So we'll see.
And with Lopez, too, I do believe he brings some sort of flexibility. He's played various spots on the infield. He's played second, he's played short, center field, and at least the major league level. I would have to look minors, but I would assume he's played at some point third base, too. So if they need him there, he could play it. And, he has played third. In fact, that's the position he's played the least amount of games in. So not very good, but still, I mean, he's mainly a shortstop and second baseman. So, and as Eli mentioned, I mean, it brings it brings a lot of speed. Brings a guy who you could place into the game, late into the game for pinch hits or pinch running. So definitely a guy to keep in mind, and he's been raking. So that's definitely a name to keep an eye out on. Other guys on the 40-man roster currently in AAA are Jonah Bride, Victor Mesa Jr., and Dane Myers, and Dane Myers raked, but can't play third. Won't see him too much at first base. He's mainly an outfielder already. That's kind of where he's been limited. So,
The other thing to mention, Kevin, just really quickly, between Lopez and Gray, righty hitter versus lefty, right? So Lopez the righty, and then Tristan Gray the lefty. So do they need more lefties? I think they have enough, honestly. So maybe the righty hitter makes more sense. Yeah. So I don't know. Interesting decision, but like Eli said, and I didn't see this in the box score, so I'm glad Eli brought it up. Him getting pulled out of the game unless he's injured is an interesting modicum. Not saying a move has been made, but that may signify it.